Welcome back to Advent of Code 2024, day 25. It's Christmas Day, the final day. It's time to finish this all off. We have all stars so far, which is good. Because yesterday was a tough one. I could have easily got to this point without the second star. So, let's wait for this one to open. What do we think it's going to be? So, Christmas Day problems usually aren't too long, but they can be hard sometimes. Going by past years. So, sometimes they're quite creative. I remember one was an interactive game that you play using int code, like a choose your own adventure game. One was a huge graph that I solved by looking at graph fizz. Okay. Code Chronicle. Out of ideas and time, the historians agree that they should go back to check the chief historian's office one last time, just in case he went back there without you noticing. When you get there, you are surprised to discover that the door to his office is locked. You can hear someone inside, but knocking yields no response. The locks on this floor are all fancy, expensive, virtual versions of 5-pin tumbler locks. So you contact North Pole Security to see if they can help open the door. I love how the page owners of certain pages on Wiki will suddenly see spikes on like Christmas Day or in the days leading up, and they don't know why. Oh, everyone's buying 5-pin tumbler locks this Christmas. So you contact North Pole Security to see if they can help open the door. Unfortunately, they've lost track of which locks are installed and which keys go with them, so the best they can do is send over schematics of every lock and every key for the floor you're on. Which is this. Oh my god. Oh ho ho. It's a physical lock. Well, the schematics are in a cryptic file format, but they do contain manufacturer information, so you look up the support number. Our virtual 5-pin tumbler product, that's our most expensive model. Way more secure than... You explain that you need to open a door and don't have a lot of time. Well, you can't know whether a key opens a lock without actually trying the key in the lock, due to quantum hidden variables. But you can rule out some of the key lock combinations. The virtual system is complicated, but part of it really is a crude simulation of a 5-pin tumbler lock, mostly for marketing reasons. If you look at the schematics, you can figure out whether a key could possibly fit in the lock. He transmits you some example schematics. The locks are schematics that have the top row filled and the bottom row empty. The keys have the top row empty and the bottom row filled. If you look closely, you'll see that each schematic is actually a set of columns of various heights, either extending downward from the top or upward from the bottom. For locks, those are the pins themselves. So you could say the first lock has pin heights 0, 5, 3, 4, 3. Or that the first key has heights 50213. These seem like they should fit together in the first 4 columns. The pins and keys don't overlap, however this key cannot be for this lock. In the rightmost column, the lock's pin overlaps with the key. Alright, so converting both locks to pin heights produces that. Converting all 3 keys to heights produces that. Then you can try every key with every lock. So in this example, the number of unique lock key pairs that fit together without overlapping in any column is 3. How many unique lock key pairs fit together without overlapping? What, all? Okay. This doesn't look like it would be that hard. Got 4,000. Okay, we've got a few of them, but we need to okay, so I guess we want to start by... How are we going to do this one? Alright, let's first just... Let's just get all the lines in here. So lines equals list of f dot read. Let's just do that. Or if x dot strip is not equal to... Alright, let's just put them all in there. Alright, so these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. For I in range length of lines over 7. So we want locks, keys. Alright. So is it just going to be a quadratic search? I don't know if that will be... I think that will be fast enough. Anyway, let's see. For I in range 7. Okay, so... If... what are we doing? So if row... If, wait, why am I doing... Yeah, that's fine. If, lines 7 times I equals then we're going with a lock, else it's a key. Okay, let we want the heights of the locks. So lock equals the pin heights is going to be, let's say, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 for J in range 6. We want to do for K car in enumerate lines 7 times I plus J if car is a hash, we want to just extend that. Is it always going to be convex? So there's no gaps? I think so. So if car is hash, then lock K, let's equal 1. And then locks dot append tuple lock. So that is a lock. I'm going to do the same thing down here, but key equals wait, this is... That's fine. So they're taking height to mean the number of hashes, basically. No. Height level from the bottom. Well, from the top or the bottom. Okay, fine. So, in the case of the key, we start with 5. If car is a dot, we subtract 1 every time we see a dot in that column. And then we got keys dot append tuple key. Print locks keys. Let's see. Wait, are we allowed a 6? Wait, what is the 6? I don't think we should be getting as high as 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, this is a... So they're saying a log of height 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. So that should be 1 to 6. Alright. Okay. So that's locks and keys. Is it just... $250 by $250? Well, just... Okay, fine. For L in locks. For K in keys. So, to fit, they just don't overlap, right? Or does it actually have to fit? The columns make a... Oh, it does actually have to fit. So, they got to sum to 5, exactly. In the rightmost column, the locks pin overlaps with the key. I think they've got to fit perfectly. No, they don't. They just got to not overlap. Okay. If L0 plus K0 less than or equal to 5, if all L I K I or I in range 5. Three, 301. So there weren't that many combinations to try. We just try all of them. Correct. You and the historians crowd into the office, startling the chief historian awake. The historians all take turns looking confused until one asks where he's been for the last few months. I've been right here, working on this high priority request from Santa. I think the only time I've even stepped away was about a month ago, when I went to grab a cup of coffee. Oh, you silly historian. Just then the chief notices the time. Oh no, I'm going to be late. I must have fallen asleep trying to put the finishing touches on this chronicle Santa requested. But now I don't have enough time to go visit the last 50 places on my list and complete the chronicle before Santa leaves. He said he needed it before tonight's sleigh launch. I mean, the sleigh could visit like 50 places in a blink of an eye. One of the historians holds up the list they've been using this whole time to keep track of where they've been searching. Next to each place you all visited, they checked off that place with a star. While the historians hold up their own notes, they took on the journey. As the historians, how could they resist writing everything down while visiting all those historically significant places? The chief's eyes get wide. With all this, we might just have enough time to finish the chronicle. Santa said he wanted it wrapped up with a bow, so I'll call down to the wrapping department and, hey, could you bring it up to Santa? I'll need to be in my seat to watch the sleigh launch by then. You nod and historians quickly work together to collect their notes into the final set of pages for the chronicle. You have enough stars to deliver the chronicle. Using the notes from the places marked by all 50 stars, the historians finish the chronicle, wrap it, and give it to you so you can bring it to Santa before the big sleigh launch. Santa is already in the sleigh making the final launch preparations. When you arrive, you try to hand him the chronicle, but he doesn't take it. Ho ho ho! I'm sorry, what did you just call me? He laughs to himself. That gift isn't for me, it's for you! That chronicle is a record of all places you've been and the people you've helped over the last decade. Thank you for everything. With that, Santa takes off in his sleigh to deliver the rest of this year's presents. Aww. Only 1660 people have done it so far. This was really easy. Oh, no, sorry. That means how many people have done all 25 stars. Yeah, it's not going to be many. But 402 people have done the silver. Wait, really? Only 402? Oh, no, that's silver only. All 1660 have done silver, essentially. Okay. 2,000 people have done silver. How do I see where we're placed? "29 seconds. 4 minutes." Yeah, I wasn't going to get into the top 100. How do I see what my placement was for that? Stats. Should be in stats, shouldn't it? Or personal times. Here we go. So we ranked 1,590 overall to finish the lot. Not bad considering how many people are now in this. Effectively. Well, that's how many did day one. Do we have a stat for how many have done any part of anything? It should be more than that, probably. Maybe it's around 300,000 or something. Alright. So, yep. Private leaderboards. It's me and Stack Cats. Sequest Opus didn't finish yesterday's problem. That's... yeah, yesterday was a tough one. I'm not even sure whether yesterday was technically tougher than the other tough one. They're tough in different ways. It didn't require as much like knowledge or anything of data structures or anything. Like you could just inspect the diagram, but it was tough. Captain Coda's leaderboards. So who was first? Me. I was actually the first to get all 50 stars. Interesting. Followed closely by these guys. So I win! Yay, but no one cares about the ordering. Well, no one cares about this ordering. These orderings are stupid. I wish they could just disable them, because we're all in different time zones, so... like... the only ordering which matters is number of stars. So, I wish... and also, people with 50 stars... the people with the same number of stars should have the same rank. Like, I don't think it's fair that someone who completed it first, because they happen to be in a good time zone, is ranked ahead of... yeah, I don't understand why it's done this way. Like, just make it nice and simple. That's all we care about when we have global leaderboards with people from different countries competing together. We only care about number of stars, so that's how it should be. But... local score and global score. Oh, these are based on how... okay, yeah. Because it's only Christmas Day where I actually make an effort to do it the moment the problem releases. You know, sometimes I have flights and things. Alright, so... cool. That's it. that is happened to code 2024. It was an easy one. Relatively. Like, there were definitely worse, not worse, but harder years in the past. But they were good. There were some good problems, some good difficult problems. But, so yeah, around the middle, there was definitely a huge emphasis on 2D grids, pathfinding. And I'm happy with that. I mean, I developed a vector class and a grid class, and I kind of improved them over the days. And you never really needed anything more than BFS. You didn't need to know Dijkstra's. Dijkstra's helped for one problem, but you didn't technically need it. Because so you had edges of length 1 and length 100 or something. Now, if you've got edges which are an integer multiple length of the other edges, then you can just replace those edges with like 100 edges of length 1, and then it's equivalent to the result. You can use BFS then, and it's equivalent to Dijkstra, but I used Dijkstra for that. So you didn't really need to know any algorithms. Everything you could work out from first principles. There was one where people use this algorithm that I've never heard of, for confining the max clique. I've always just used that algorithm, which I kind of came up with myself, but I'm sure it's not. Like, I'm sure it's a common algorithm, which was the recursive one, where I break it into two subgraphs. Either I pick an arbitrary node, I take the subgraph which is the neighbors of that node, and I take the subgraph which is the graph without that node. Those are two subgraphs. And then I just compute max clique on each of them and take the bigger one. We've got some animations going on here. So that's probably the volcano. Is that a Christmas tree? I don't know what that is. Maybe a jungle or something. That is a Christmas tree. This was like the digital world, maybe. Hang on, the stars. Don't mean anything, I don't think, no. What is this? Day 24? Alright, well, I did that really quickly. It's only half an hour. I solved it in 15 minutes, so it was one of the easiest ones, really. I mean, I could have coded it much faster than that. Like, parsing the input was the slowest bit, because you got to like, I don't know what a faster way would be. Maybe make grids. So maybe even copy my grid data structure and make a bunch of grids. So parse the input, like, just to get it into grid, and then for each grid just do like a max height list comprehension. It wouldn't really be faster. Lower level. Day 15 pushing boxes. Day 25, what are we doing? Yeah, what were we doing? Lock picking. Or lock fumbling. Lock tumbler fumbling. That was actually a pretty easy problem, like, very accessible to anyone without knowing any algorithms or anything. This is just it was just one big try every lock with every key. And there's no way you could algorithmically do that faster. You had to try every key with every lock. I mean, you could group them according to heights in certain columns. There's probably ways you could speed up the runtime of this by categorizing them on there, say the height of column 1 and on 2 and so on, and then you could easily find the locks which can fit a certain key. It's probably good speed ups you could do. But then we've only got 250 of each, so it's like it's tiny numbers. Also, did they... Hang on, let me look at my personal stats again. Oh, they actually counted the time it took me to read part 2, read the flavor text. Damn it. I should have just... I thought I would just get the second star immediately. So I should have just quickly clicked the second star and then gone back and read the flavor text if I wanted a better, like, to save like a whole 1 minute or whatever. What was it? Yeah, like 1 minute and 40 seconds. It took me to read the story text and then click. Alright, well, remember for next year. I haven't been following along without knowing the task, just seeing output. It looked like more pathfinding nightmares. There was no pathfinding, so the it looks like it was going to be like that. But it was just a case of this is a lock and this is a key. And those pictures fit together if they don't overlap, basically. So you want to just find the, like, how low each of these pins gets. And for the keys, you want to find how high each of the pins gets. And just make sure they don't overlap in each case. So basically, the heights don't sum to more than 5. But it basically spells it out in the description. It says... the sum of the lock and height is more than the available space. So it's basically telling you what you need to do. It's giving you the algorithm. Yeah, no pathfinding. The only time-consuming bit is converting the image into a set of heights, like what they've said here. Which is where I spent the 15 minutes, really. Okay. AOC, 10 years. 10 more years. 10 more years. I hope. Hope this is not the final year. Some people speculated it might be, like, the end. Vaguely reminds me of Oblivion's lockpicking minigame in text form. Oh, really? I haven't got onto Oblivion yet. I still have a save in Morrowind, and I had an interruption, so that I didn't get back to that, but I still have the save file. And I still have a book. Oh man, it's right here. The same book I use for my coding note. With an alpaca on the front. And this is where I wrote all my Morrowind notes, and it's like several pages of quest notes. So yeah, I will get back to that. Glalu, talk to Glathel. She hates me. I've put in brackets. Okay. We'll have to use a charm spell or something on her. So yeah, Morrowind, I will get back to that one day. And one day I'll get to Oblivion. And one day I'll get to Skyrim. Oh, just saw the train. The Christmas train. But I mean, in Morrowind, lockpicking was just a skill check, wasn't it? That's all. Like Thief, the last Thief game I played, Thief 3, had a little lockpicking minigame, but it was really easy on keyboard because you could just basically mash all possible directions and get it really quickly, I think. Alright, well, I was gonna raid someone, but we don't have many chatters right now, so I won't. But, that was... Oh, I'm a huge Elder Scrolls nerd. Totally feel you're needing a notebook to keep up with Morrowind. Yeah, especially bought this notebook. So, just for that game. I've been lugging it around with me everywhere, and I haven't touched the game again in like over a year now. That's really bad. I'm gonna forget everything. I still have it all installed, and all the mods and everything still installed, so it's not like... Because I got a new laptop, and I was worried it just wouldn't work. But then I basically just copy and pasted the folder fully, and it was okay. I didn't have to reinstall mods individually. I doubt it's the end of Advent. Probably going to be a few years. There's no... Yeah, we don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Like, if I can imagine Eric has found it a lot of work, and I wouldn't be surprised if either this year or the next year or something, he's just like, okay, I have to retire this. Like, it's like I can't keep this up. If he does, fair enough. Because this is way more work than he probably ever realized it would be when he first launched it. Like, the first year he thought there would only be like maybe 50 people at most taking part. And then it just blew up within a few days, and the site even crashed at some point, and because, you know, he wasn't scaling it to that many people, and he had to there's too large of a community for someone else not to carry the torch. Yeah, I mean, if he stops, someone else will take the torch. If they're up to it. I mean, it's a big responsibility, and Eric puts in a huge amount of his free time throughout the year. He starts developing these problems like January of the next year, and then for the next few months he's developing them and testing them. So he spent the whole year doing this. He also never looks at any puzzle sites or any coding sites. Like, when he popped into my chat once, I told him about Coding Game, and he was like, that sounds great, but I'm not gonna look at it because I don't want to risk accidentally copying a puzzle. So it's his attempt at making something as original as he can. Like, obviously the problems are going to be copies of other problems, because that's what happens when you make coding puzzles. There's a certain number of paradigms that comes up over and over again, but they are as original as he can attempt to make them. How are they funded? Do they accept donations or anything like that? Yeah, you could donate. I've donated, that's why I've got the star thing for this year. But you can go to About, and how do you even donate? Is it shop? No. How do you donate? I don't even know. Maybe you go to your... AOC++. Okay, it's not the most obvious way to donate, but it's somewhere there in the page. But yeah, you can go to the AOC++ page and you can get a thing next to your name. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, it's self-funded. Eric probably puts in like more time than it's really worth the amount of donations he gets. So yeah, he's just really putting in his own time a lot of the time. And there's testers as well. Like 5 testers, I think, who test his problems. I think their names are listed somewhere. Oh yeah, you go to this tab, C++. They need to improve that. If it's difficult to donate, no wonder they're struggling. Oh, I think I was just not clicking on this tab. Yeah, it's not obvious what this tab is, though, to be fair. So yeah, maybe it's not the most obvious layout. Like, they should just have a donate button, but I don't know. Oh, and they've got sponsors as well. That is quite a lot of sponsors. But I don't know how much money they give, but Jane Street, I applied to work for them once, didn't get the job. They gave me a really tough interview problem involving binary search trees, which is one of those things that you don't often get asked about. Like, they always love asking about hash maps. Well, they always love asking about hash maps. It's always hash maps interview questions, but Jane Street asked a really tough, like, problem where I needed to use a binary search tree, a red-black tree or something. I did solve the problem. Didn't get the job, though. Which is maybe for the best. I think I might have been bored there. It's a more like, financial coding company. Sounds boring, even though it probably pays better than what I got at Amazon, but I probably would have enjoyed Amazon more. Accenture, JP Morgan, these are popular companies in the UK for coders to go to. Alright. So, yeah, I guess the only other time I'm going to be doing coding game is maybe in the middle of this year, just to finish off 2021. Can't believe you're streaming on Christmas Eve, by the way. Really admire the dedication. Well, it's Christmas Day for me. But anyway, I'm not with family or anything. I'm just kind of in Malaysia by myself, waiting for a flight to Saudi Arabia to teach an AI workshop, but I have to wait a few days for that flight because that flight was booked months ago and I didn't know where I would be now, so I just told them, okay, just book it from Kuala Lumpur because it's an easy city to get to and from many places. So then I had to fly to Kuala Lumpur to get the flight. So yeah, I'm just here waiting for that flight. Will be Christmas for me in 18 minutes. Okay. Yeah, for a lot of people in the US, this starts at midnight, and then in the people in Europe, it's like at a bad time in like 7 a.m. or something. Malaysia, huh? You there on business? No, it's just worked out that way because I'm supposed to fly to Saudi Arabia to teach this course, and they booked flights and accommodation for me, but they did it months ago. So they were like, okay, where do you need the ticket from? But where I was in Thailand at the time, but I couldn't have the flight come from Thailand because my visa would have run out literally like 1 week before the date they needed to fly me there. So I was like, okay, just book it from Malaysia. I'll find my way there. And Um, Kuala Lumpur is one of the easiest international hubs. There's flights going from everywhere to everywhere from there. So I was like, that would be the easiest place. And it's direct flights as well to Saudi Arabia, so... It's not exactly... It's a Muslim country, so it's not exactly big on Christmas, which is good. I don't like being in places which are busy on Christmas, because it's always just more expensive and whatever. And things are closed. I like it being a nice, quiet Christmas. Quiet and cheap. Teaching a course, that's pretty cool. I figured you're a student. What's the course on? It's on AI. I am going to be teaching this thing here, coding game. Which I'm actually going to be streaming in a few days' time, because they have a competition which is running right now. And this is a fantastic site, and I think everyone should... Everyone who's into Advent of Code, this will be up their alley as well, but it's more AI focused. So you're coding bots to play a game, but you use a lot of the same stuff, pathfinding, heuristics, stuff like that. And the UI for this site is top notch, like it's really, really good. You basically code bots, and then your bots get pitted against other people's bots. Yeah, skip the tutorial. So you put together a bot, you run your bot on the UI, and it shows what the bot does here at each step. So you're telling the bot what to do. And then when you've written your bot, you click submit, and it goes into a leaderboard. And it gets continuously ranked against other people, like in a sort of ELO type system. So you'll get a rank, but it could go up or down as time goes on, as people improve their bots. And yeah, it's good. It teaches you AI. You could practice using different techniques like pruning trees or pathfinding, A-star search, stuff like that. And I'm gonna teach the course based on this, so I'm gonna give them... We're gonna... Over the course of 5 days, we're gonna practice some puzzles, and then I'm gonna give them like a competition. And there'll be prizes for the top 3 students. The university's paying for that. I use a lot of LLMs for code review and writing, but haven't done too much as far as working on my own. Is there a service you'd recommend? Well, I'm not actually going to be teaching about LLMs. I'm going to be teaching about AI algorithms, so mostly like stuff you use in game dev, so like pathfinding and stuff like that. So I don't know much about LLMs. I know how they work. I've tried them sometimes, but I don't know what's a good service. I've only used ChatGPT myself, and that's been good enough for the basic things I wanted it for, but yeah. But this site is not gonna use LLMs. It's just like coding algorithms. So yeah, that's the next thing. There's an event going on now, and it will be on for the next 2 weeks. So as soon as I have time, so probably in a couple of days' time, I'll start this. And then I'll probably be streaming a bunch of days doing this. So it's not over for coding. We still have a busy Christmas and New Year. More coding needs to be done. Ever done NLP? I've done a bit of NLP when I worked at Amazon, because we actually had to use it for like looking at the titles of movies and stuff. I was working for Prime Video, so we were doing a lot of stuff with data. The data based on like what movies people are watching and purchasing and stuff. And sometimes we had to whip out NLP libraries just to analyze the titles and stuff of movies, just to kind of like categorize them as like whether they're going to be action movies and things like that. And that's usually because our data was so bad. Well, not bad, it's just... So there's like there's like a team offshore, like in India or somewhere, where they go through all our movies and they manually put tags on them saying like, okay, this is this genre, this is this title, this is this age rating, and so and so. But there's so many gaps, so sometimes we had to use NLP just to fill in those gaps, because otherwise you have to do it manually and that takes forever. So yeah, I've touched NLP libraries, but that's the extent of it, really. It is really just using, and it's usually Amazon's NLP. I think recognition, for example, for recognizing images, and then there's something for NLP. I'm not satisfied with OpenAI models. Yeah, I don't know. I was just using AWS stuff, whatever their NLP model is. But I mean, it was mostly trained on Amazon stuff, Amazon data, so it's probably specialized for that. The upcoming event. This is the challenge, Winter Challenge 2024. So it finishes January the 6th. So I have like 2 weeks once I start this. Not too familiar with implementing my own AI, but I have 2 projects that rely heavily on it. One involves analyzing PDF documents, and another involves programmatically constructing sentences based on different words, figure of speech. Okay. I don't know what to recommend. I haven't played with enough different libraries. But yeah, I've tried AWS's products and they were pretty good. So that's the only thing I can recommend. You say OpenAI, you're not satisfied with that? Okay. I've never really touched much of OpenAI's stuff. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to recommend, to be honest. But I normally just focus on the writing of algorithms, mainly for game dev applications. Alright. I think I'm done. I need to upload this video. So... yeah. Alright, well, good luck with that. And I don't know, I'll be streaming again in a few days' time, so maybe see you there. So that's it. I might get onto Satisfactory because there's like a Christmas thing going on there as well. An advent of Satisfactory. I need to open my final advent in that. So I'll just upload the video and then maybe switch to Satisfactory. Alright, thanks for watching. See you guys next Christmas, but also mid-year for 2022, which is the one I need to catch up on. Bye-bye.